So I've kind of been a bit more chronically online. I still have my 30 minutes limit on TikTok, but I may or may not have occasionally put my code in to like keep that going for longer. It's okay. It's okay. But one thing I have been seeing a lot is, you know how people do those like ranking of the tropes thing? Book tropes, of course, that's obviously what I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, like people rank or like talk about the tropes, and it just got me thinking, like, I'm just thinking about all these tropes, and I'm like, like, which ones do I actually like? And this is not like a tier listing or a tier ranking or anything like that, but I'm here for discussion. So I want to know if other people think the same as me, because a lot of times I find that the people I talk to, we generally like the same kind of tropes and generally dislike the same kind of tropes. But then I'm thinking, like, if it's so universal, then why are people writing the tropes that people like? We still read them, but then we have like immense hate towards them. So yeah, I'm here with my weird breakfast. I went a bit ham in Costco yesterday, but I got fresh baguette with some camembert spread and then some light cheese or leek cheese, whatever, and then I made a coffee that looks extremely milky but tastes chef's kiss delicious. Anyway, let's get straight into it. The trope of all tropes. Should we start from the bottom and work our way up? No, I fear that I have strong opinions about the ones I don't like. So the piece de resistance of book tropes, enemies to lovers, every flipping time. Every single flipping time. I love it. Even if it's like a small trope in the book, like it's not the main trope, I flipping love it. Why? Tension, angst, and the payoff at the end. Are you joking? Now, I haven't read The Cruel Prince yet, but apparently that's what happens there. But books I have read, Fourth Wing, excuse me. Although I know people don't like the fact that Iron Flame kind of goes back to the same thing, but listen, it is what it is. Court of Mist and Fury, that kind of happens. I guess that you play the long game there, because you're supposed to hate Rhysand in A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then you get to Mist and Fury and you're like, oh, you're actually the good one. We're supposed to like you. So yeah, I just feel like that I will always love that. This isn't really a micro trope, but it's kind of like a little bit of a micro trope in Throne of Glass, because I can't lie, never saw Aelin and Rowan coming. I was like, this guy hates her, like, la la la, she doesn't particularly like him. They've been soulmates. I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't get it. What else have we got? Sorry, I've got a list here just in case I got confused. Oh, forced proximity. Listen, the way forced proximity, like every single time, like I just don't get it. I feel like I shouldn't like it. But we've got like in Chathamy, in the flat share, in road trip, I'm trying to think what books I've got up here. Just in many books, the forced proximity. I guess even like some fantasy books, like they all have this is the thing, when you have a big series, like if you have a series like Throne of Glass or longer series, you get all these different tropes that come up, because it would be boring to just write about one trope. So like, for example, in Throne of Glass you have multiple tropes, like enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, because of all the different characters. But then it's got like, I guess, forced proximity because she's forced to go to Rowan. Just a bunch of stuff, you know, just a bunch of stuff. What else have we got? Found family. Love a found family. I'm sorry, but you have to be quite broken inside to enjoy found family, like to the core. But you've got like Six of Crows, Crescent City, all of those. I guess even like books like Twilight, because the Cullens are technically found family. I mean, technically, I guess, like they didn't have to be in a little clan together, but they chose to be. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like warms your heart, it deepens the stakes, because it's like these people are actively choosing to like support each other and like die for each other, not just because they're like related by blood or whatever. And now listen, this one's a bit thingy because I flippin' love a grumpy sunshine, because I am a sunshine, and I love that like classic dynamic and the fun contrast. And I also love that it's like one person is like really cold and the other person's really warm, but then the really cold person only warms to one person, and it's like, oh, you are the only one. And it's like, listen, I take things too far in my brain, I know that I do, but I feel like this happens in a lot of like romance books, which I don't particularly read that often, but I have a few. So that one's interesting. But listen, I actually surprised I didn't talk about this sooner. Slow burn. Slow flipping burn. Flipping love it. The payoff at the end, like, it's a bit of a slug, like, reading through it, and you're just like, don't you guys see it? Like, it's so obvious, like, the whole time. One of my favourite books of all time, Night Circus. Where even is that, actually? Oh yeah, right there. Are you joking? Flippin' love it. I guess Court of Mist and Fury is kind of like that too. I love a slow burn, a slow relationship. Like, over time, it's like obvious to everyone that they should be together, but they're not. So I'm just gonna take her. I bought these camembert spreads from Costco. So good. Anyway, I find it oddly strange that I enjoy Marriage of Convenience. I don't know why I enjoy it. I just do. I just feel like I can't even explain. Okay, let's just move on because I can't even explain that one. Oh, as a reader, we love like bookish main characters, like where the people are like intellectual, extremely intelligent, usually when the male is, but we will not scrutinise. The female needs to be of equal level of intelligence, even if it's in a different way. But like Secret History, that's a complex book. I can't believe for the longest time I thought Secret History was one of Donna Tartt's newer releases. That's how well written it is. But it's been out like since the 90s or something. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, we're going down now, because I feel like the following tropes are okay, but it depends on how they're executed. Love triangle. Listen, I'm not a big fan of a love triangle. Just saying. I guess there's a good level of tension, but oftentimes love triangles aren't even love triangles. It's like a V, a point. Like it's two, like two, for example, two guys that like one girl, but the girl only likes one guy. That's not really a love triangle. It would be a triangle if, I'm going to name them guy A and B, if guy A liked the girl and the girl liked guy B, but the guy B liked guy A. That's a triangle. I feel like people don't know shapes. I feel like people do not know the shapes, because that is not a triangle. Like in Twilight, for example, Bella likes Edward, Edward likes Bella, but Jacob likes Bella. That's not a triangle. What would have been a triangle was if Jacob liked Bella, Bella liked Edward, Edward liked Jacob. That is a triangle, guys. That's a triangle. That's not what happens. But again, like, for example, I feel like it's not, people say that Hunger Games is a love triangle. Gale did not have a chance. Sorry, Gale did not have a chance. Even in the book, the movies he definitely didn't, because they barely gave poor Liam Hemsworth any airtime. But Bella did not. Sorry, that is not a love triangle. Okay, that is not a love triangle. I guess. Sorry, 1 second. In the first book in the Throne of Glass series, there's kind of like a love triangle, but not really, because I'm still convinced that Cole, whatever, was in love with Dorian and just didn't know how to, just didn't realise it, because that man, so see, that has the potential to be a triangle, because I was convinced that Dorian loved, her name was Selena at the time, Dorian loved Selena, Selena loved Cole, and Cole loved Dorian. Now that is a triangle, okay? That is a triangle. That is a triangle. I'm not going to mention, actually yes I will, there's a love triangle in the selection. Whatever. Okay, next one, fake dating. Now, it's fine, sometimes, depends how it's written, but then there's like, so for example, you've got To All the Boys I Loved Before, or you've got The Love Hypothesis. I think that they're quite wholesome. I feel like they're like holiday reads, like not too, like don't take it too seriously. It's just for fun. It has to be done, I feel, like in a younger category. So like they're at school or they're at college, or it needs to be done with like they're telling someone that they need to get married. So then just to like get them to shut up, they bring like a date to the wedding, like that kind of thing. It's fine. But if it's like a bit, if it's anything else, yeah, the answer's a no for me. Paranormal romances, I feel like we're kind of coming back into that, but definitely in like the early 2010s that was like a major thing, like when you had like Twilight, City of Bones, etc, etc, like when people were really getting on that hype. So you have like vampires, werewolves, like magic systems. Basically we're kind of coming back into that with the whole fae thing, but I think we've kind of gone in a different trajectory where it's not really paranormal or supernatural, it's more like dragons and like why I didn't even know wyvern were a thing. I thought Rebecca Yarros made them up until I read them in other books, and I was like, oh, these are like an actual thing, which I don't know why I didn't realise, but yeah. The other ones that I feel like are again overdone or not well explained, which is why they don't work as well, is like love at first sight or like instant love. So like for example in Twilight, where immediately they kind of both love each other, or like in The Siren, they all like love each other immediately, and I'm just like, first of all, in Twilight I guess it's not really like they love each other immediately, it's like she's just too good of smelling. I feel like they never explained that properly. I need that to be explained. We've got like secret royalty or chosen one. So like obviously chosen one would be like Harry Potter and stuff like that, but secret royalty as well, I feel like that kind of comes up a lot. Like it's kind of been introduced in the Inferior series with like in, I think it's not mentioned until Iron Flame, but Onyx Storm it's like really hits home. But then also like Shadow and Bone, Divergent, The Red Queen, like all of those books have chosen one aspects, and I feel like it's a bit too weighty and a bit too unrealistic to say that one person is the answer to everything. I like it to be a little, I mean, listen, I love me a delulu moment more than anyone, but some things are just like this one person cannot be the answer to everything. Like, do you know what I mean? This one person requires support of a lot of other people. They might have a very important thing about them that makes it like that. For example, Triss in Divergent, she is like the most diverse person, but she can't be the only one that's going to save the rest of everyone. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the other slightly divergent people need to also help. So they need recognition, justice for them. Now we're moving on to like tropes I kind of really hate. Miscommunication. Flipping hate that, because I feel like I hate miscommunication in real life, and it's almost annoying to read, because usually as a reader you know what's going on, and you're just like, listen hun, just tell it to him straight, or like whatever, because it's getting a bit confusing. Examples: The Samurai Turned Pretty. It ends with us. I feel like all of these books could have ended after 2 chapters or like 3 chapters, or could have been half the length. And these books are not thick anyway. Could have been half the length if they'd just communicated properly in the first place. Do you know what I mean? I also am not a big fan of reading about amnesia or memory loss, but I think it's usually because of the way that it's done. A lot of people who have amnesia, memory loss, don't actually get their memories back, and I feel like, not that the books do give the people the memory back, but I feel like obviously a lot of us will not know like what it feels like to lose all memory or something like that. So I think it just needs to be a bit more realistic at times, that's all. I also hate fixing the broken person, because A, that's almost impossible realistically, but also it's just annoying. Like, I thought you're supposed to like love someone for who they are. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that was enough with my rant, but I just wanted to know like what other people were thinking. I feel like I have really restrained myself here and not given much context about anything, but I just want to know like what other people hate and like love, because to be like, when people select a book, is it because of the trope? I think so. Like if someone hears, oh, this is an enemies to lovers, and you know that you're an enemies to lovers like girly or boy, no judgment, then you kind of will just like gravitate towards it, you know? Same with like forced proximity, fake dating, chosen one, found family. Like if you know, I'm sorry, if like for example, if you were on like any fan fiction website, if those tags were there, found family, chosen, or found family, fake dating, forced proximity, blah 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 blah, right? You'd be read, save to list, or whatever, kudos, I don't know, whatever the things are, you'd be right on it. Don't even lie. Don't even lie. Anyway, that was it. Let me know your favourite trope. Also, this is not an exhaustive list, there's so many other tropes, but oh, you know what else I don't like? The pregnancy trope. I feel like so many times they use that as like an out or a caveat or like a plot twist, and I'm just like, why are we dragging the children into this? Why are we dragging the children into this? These two people's lives are a shit show. They don't need to add a baby to this mix. I'm just saying. Okay, that was my final thought. That was bye.